Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fourth episode of our teaching series. I'm here again with Hannah, Leo, and Harvey, and today we'll be talking about how to teach a writing lesson. So these are for Inner Mongolia kids, and hopefully for other schools in the future as well. So with writing lessons, what we usually do is we have a prompt, and then we ask the students to write something based on that prompt, and then we'll have the teacher take a picture of some students' response. They send it to us and we'll correct it. Then we'll show them an exemplar and then we'll do some grammar exercises. So our focus with them is grammar, basically. All right, so let's get started with today's.
Yeah. Okay, so this is an example of a typical prompt that you would see during class, and it's very, very simple. So the prompt is basically describe yourself in 3 words, and why did you choose these words? Remind them that they should write about 4 sentences, and then give them time to write it. And then normally during class, we tell them lift your head when you're done because we can see them. So when they lift your head, when you see everyone has finished, then you can start going over it.
Yes. So on the next slide, yes, here it is. We have 2 student examples. As you can probably see, they are not perfect, but that's what we're going to work on: correcting grammar, correcting word choices, and correcting sentence structure as well. So as you can see on the left, this person describes herself as hardworking, musical, and good. And well, here we can generally get the gist of what the person is trying to say, but as you can see, the spellings are kind of wrong, the words are wrong, and some grammar is wrong. So here we will probably start by saying that if you have a subject at the start of a sentence, you would generally use I instead of me. And conjugating the verb describe. To describe with I is actually just describe without the S. We'll explain that. And if they don't know or don't get that grammar concept, maybe come up with a couple more examples or a couple more exercises to conjugate verbs as well. I describe myself and myself instead of myself. Just make a note of that as well. As hardworking, musical, and good. Make sure to check those, to tell them how to spell those 3 words right. And you can always edit on the slides as well. So if the teacher sends in pictures, you can type it really quickly because the writings are short onto the slides, and maybe correct it live as you go. And then the last sentence might pick those worms because me is. That, to be honest, I just have no idea what those words mean. So this is a very good chance for teacher-student interaction and work on the student speaking ability as well. So maybe you can ask, call out the student and ask them what they meant by the last sentence. And maybe ask them orally to describe what they want to write, and maybe ask them to say in other words as well. And try to write those sentences down and put that onto paper. And the second, same thing goes for the second piece. This one is a bit better, but there are also several errors. And just make sure to correct those and explain why they're correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just to add on to what Harvey was saying, when you are correcting the students, you can also edit the slides in real time. So when he was talking about when the subject is in the start, you use I instead of me. So you would write I equals that, and then write the explanation. You would also do describes versus describe, and maybe explain that and add more notes, because a lot of the students have the opportunity to take notes while they're learning. So that could be really helpful if they can see the mistakes and see the correct version. So this slide is what it would look like corrected. So you can see here, the teacher has actually gone in and made notes, which is super, super helpful. So you as a teacher, feel free to do the same thing on your slides as well.
Yes.
All right, so, well, so for fun, right, how do you make a writing lesson fun? So for me, because I do sing, so if you go back to the last slide, we're gonna sing together. How's that? Okay, so on top of my head, the first song comes to me is Hello by Adele. So Hannah, can you please go back to the first slide? I mean, the last slide, yes. So, something that you really like, something that's unique to you. Something unique to me is probably singing, so I'm probably gonna sing for you right now. So it's gonna go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hello, my name is Mark. I'm 13 years old. I'm tall and like to play football. So like something like that. Like it's really funny and it's really interesting and really boosts the class morale and really gets the class going, like maybe for you it's poetry or something like that. Maybe you can write a poem off of these simple things like hello, like thou name is Mark, like use Shakespearean language, interested. Something like that, something there's something in writing classes, it has so much potential for you to make it fun because there's just endless possibilities of ways to do it. And just writing itself is creativity. So I think that in a writing lesson, you could really use your strategies taught from the past few lessons to create more activities, such as reminders, such as looking around in your room, finding something that interests you, and maybe incorporate that and relate that to the topic. And second, think of that one interesting thing throughout your day, relate that to the topic, present it to the class, and class is so much more interesting. And again, we want to make sure that you enjoy the class as well as the class enjoys the class. So pick something that you like and also pick something that the class likes. So
Yes.
And last two comments.
Yes, last note. Based on past experience, the students might be lacking in creativity a little because usually in Chinese English classes in China, they don't, everyone uses the same words using the same sentence format. So try to be, again, encouraging and try to come up with, as Leo said, creative ways. And try to encourage different writing styles. So make it clear that they don't have to write the sentence. Everyone write the same information the same exact way possible.
And just make sure you're encouraging, because when you're like correcting all of this, like it can be pretty degrading when like your entire passage gets ripped apart. So make sure you say what you like about it and also encourage the students, as Harvey and Leo and Hannah have said. Encourage the students, make them feel good. And honestly, because these prompts don't really follow a curriculum, like if you don't like the prompt that we're doing, literally just make one up before the lesson. Go for that if you want, or just go with the lesson. These are just guidelines. You can do literally whatever you want with writing because there's no curriculum.
Yes.
All right.
Just a side note.
Yes.
As you can see, this slide with Angela and Mark, this is actually way more close to what the students write than the example on the next slide, slide 4, that we actually presented. That's just, that slide was just us coming up with crazy things. So we can have a better example to correct, but you actually don't need to make that many corrections in most cases. So don't be discouraged if you saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys, we'll see you next class.
Thank you for
Yes.
coming.
Thank you so much.